Mangaroos Tutoring Services, Mathematics Classes. Percentage. A percent is a number or ratio expressed as a fraction of 100. This simply means that the denominator of the fraction would be 100. It is denoted by the percentage sign. What does this definition mean? This means that, let's say we had 1 out of 4 stationaries being a pencil. We can firstly express this as a fraction. So what fraction of the stationaries are pencils? It's 1 out of 4 parts, so that's 1/4. If they asked us what percent of the stationaries are pencils, we can take this quarter and multiply it by 100, and the answer we get will be in percentage. So let's work it out. 4 into 4 is 1, 4 into 10 is 2, remainder 2, 4 into 20 is 5. So the answer is 25%. So let me show you something. Quarter, remember the definition says that we are simply expressing a ratio where the denominator is 100. In this case, we are talking about 1 pencil out of 4 stationaries. It's obvious that we don't have 100 stationaries. So what we are doing is using this quarter, taking this quarter and creating an equivalent fraction where the denominator is 100. So if we multiply the 4 by 25, we will get 100. We are trying to get the denominator to be 100. We must do the same with the numerator. 1 times 25 is 25. So we have now expressed the quarter as 25 over 100. Another way of saying 25 out of 100 is 25%. So let us do some examples. We must express these percentage as a fraction. Let us begin. So again, remember, you can attempt any of these questions if you like. 2%, so that's 2 over 100. 17%, that's 17 over 100. Now we can reduce 2%, but they didn't ask us to. In the next exercise, we will reduce the fractions. 56%. That can be expressed as 56 over 100. 0.5% is 0.5 over 100. 225%. So we are seeing here that yes, we can go above 100%. This is 225 over 100. Next, converting percentages to fractions in its lowest form. So we will make this into a fraction and then we will reduce or simplify it. That's what lowest form means. So 10% is 10 over 100. We can cancel 1 and 0 on top with 1 and 0 below. this will give us 1 over 10. So this is the lowest form, or the most that we can reduce the fraction. B, 25%. This is 25 over 100. We can say 25 into 25 and 25 into 100. Or, if you know 25s, you will know 25 into 25 is 1, and 25 into 100 is 4. If you used 5, you will eventually reach the 1/4. Next, 35%. So this is 35 over 100. 5 into 35 is 7, and 5 into 100 is 20. 36%. 36 over 100. 4 into 36 is equal to 9, and 4 into 100 is equal to 25. 75%. 75 over 100. 25 into 75 is 3, and 25 into 100 is 4. So here we have a typo. So again, we have over 100 this time, over 100%. So that's 150 over 100. We can cancel 1 and 0 on top with 1 and 0 below. 5 into 10 is 2, and 5 into 15 is 3. So this is 3 over 2. So notice when we go above 100%, we will get a fraction that is more than 1, or an improper fraction if you prefer, or a mixed number. If we like to convert this to a mixed number, that will be 2 into 3, or 3 divided by 2 is 1, remainder 1, and that goes over the 2. Next, convert the following fractions to percent. So one of the type of fractions, one of the methods rather that you can use to convert fractions is to multiply the denominator to get 100. So this is a good question that we can use that method for. If we multiply 5 by 20, we will get 100. So we are aiming to get the denominator to be 100. Whatever you do to the denominator, you must do to the numerator. So we must multiply the numerator by 20. So that's 20 over 100. We can reduce it, but then we'll get back to 1/5. So 20 over 100, they ask us to not put it as a fraction, but as a percent. So this is 20%. So once we have the number over 100, and it's correct, then we can write that number as a percent. Next, 1/4. So 4 times what number will give us 100? You can either work it out, or if you know, you can put the answer. 4 times 25 will give us 100. So we multiply the numerator by 25 as well. So we will get 25 over 100, and this is equal to 25%. C, 20 over 25. If we multiply the denominator by Yes, 4. We will get 100. 20 times, must use the same number, 4, is equal to 80. So the answer is 80%. Now, keep in mind, you would not be able to always multiply or even divide the denominator to get 100. It will sometimes be difficult. So D is one where it's different, so I'll come back to D. So let's do E, F, and G, and then we come back to D. So E, 10 times what will give us 100? Yes, 10 times 10. Of course, we multiply 2 by the same number, so that's 20. So the answer is 20%. F, we worked one like this before where we had 20 as a denominator. Do you remember? Yes, 20 times 5 will give us 100. And of course 6 times 5 will give us 30. So the answer is 30%. And G, another way we can say this is say 100 divided by 50. What will we get? We get 2. 50 times 2 is equal to 100. So we use the same number 2. 35 times 2. If we work this out, we will get 70. So the answer is 70%. Right, so let's return to D. D, as I said, is a little different. So what do? We can't say 15 times 4 or 5 or 6 will give us 100. So the number or the fraction rather is 3 15ths. So we must say numerator divided by denominator. Numerator divided by denominator. So that's 15 into 3. 15 into 3, that cannot, because 15 is more than 3. So we put a 0. Now, at this point, we put a decimal point after the 3, and we also put it in the answer above, and we add a 0. 15 now into 30 is 2. Two times 15 is equal to 30, minus, we will get 0. So your answer is simply 0.2. So 0.2 as a decimal is easy to convert to a percent. This is a good time for me to show you this. So what we do here, we simply multiply by 100, and when we're multiplying by 100, it means that we must move a decimal point 2 places to the right. So if we have a fraction or a decimal, we can multiply it by 100 to determine what percent it is. So that's 20%. Okay, so that brings us to the end of the exercise. Fractions. Firstly, we will look at a few simple fractions. On the left side and on the right side, we have a pictorial representation of those fractions. You can feel free at any time to pause the video and draw in these fractions in your book if you like. Here on the left, we have a half, a third, 2/3, 1/4, 3/4, and 1/5, 2/5, 3/5, 4/5, 1/6, 1/8, 3/8, 5/8, 7/8, 1/10, 3/10, 7/10, and 9/10. We will now attempt to convert these fractions to decimal fractions and percentages. So let us begin. Half. So there are really two ways that we can convert this, or two ways I will show you. One is where we can multiply the denominator to make it 10 or 100 if it's not already 10 or 100. This first fraction, 1/2, we can use that method. So we can multiply 2 by 5 to get 10, and we must do the same with the numerator. 1 times 5. So this fraction is equivalently equal to 5 over 10. So 5/10 is an equivalent fraction to a half. So now that we have the denominator being 10, we know that 5 over 10 is equal to 0.5. Or if we are dividing a whole number by 10, we simply carry back the decimal point one place. How do we make 0.5 a percentage? It's much easier to make a decimal a percentage compared to a fraction. All we need to do is multiply by 100. This means we must move the decimal point 2 places to the right. Fill the empty spaces or places with a 0. So this is 50%. Next we have 1/3. Since 3 cannot be easily multiplied or divided to make 10 or 100, we must use a different approach. We must say numerator 1 divided by denominator 3. So that's 3 into 1, or 1 divided by 3. 3 into 1 is 0. We must now put a decimal point both in the dividend and the quotient. Add a 0. 3 into 10 is 3. 3 3s are 9. Take away, we will get 1. We add another 0, bring it down. 3 into 10, we will get 3 again. 3 3s are 9. Subtract, we'll get 1. If we add another 0, we bring it down. We see that we will continue to get 3 into 10. and we will continue to get a remainder of 1 and a recurring 3 on top. So we can round off to 2 decimal places, so the answer will be 0.33 with a remainder of 1, and that's 1 over the divisor, which is 3, so that's 0.33 and a third. So we understand that the decimal is 0.33. If we continue, we keep getting 3's. For the percentage, we must multiply this by 100. That will give us 33. But remember, we have a third as well, so that's 33 and a third percent. Next, we will go on to 1/4. Some of you will know what percentage this is and what decimal it is, but if you don't, here's one way you can work it out. Can we multiply 4 to get 10 or 100? Yes, we can multiply 4 by 25 to get 100. We must multiply the numerator by the same number. So we will get 25 over 100, which is the same as 0.25 if we want to write it as a decimal. And to get it to be a percentage, we must multiply by 100. So that's 25%. Next, let's do 3/5. So can we multiply this 5 to get 10 or 100? Yes, we can easily multiply by 2 to get 10. We must do the same with the numerator. So we'll get 6/10. Some of you would know that this is 0.6. For those who don't, when we divide by 10, we carry the decimal point 1 place to the left. So that's 0.6. And if we want to change this to percentage, we can simply multiply by 100. And if we shift the point 2 places to the right, we will get 60%. What about 1/8? 1/8 cannot be easily changed to tens or hundreds. We can't multiply 8 by a whole number to get 10 or 100. So what we can do, we can say numerator divided by denominator. So that's 8 into 1. 8 into 1 is 0. We put a decimal point. We add a 0. 8 into 10 is 1. 1/8 is 8. Subtract. We get 2. Add another 0. 8 into 20 is 2. 2/8 is 16. Subtract, we get 4. Right. We add another 0. We get 8 into 40 is 5. 5/8 are 40. So now we have no remainder. So your answer is 0.125. So So that gives us a decimal value. We can multiply this by 100 to get this as a percentage, and this will give us 12.5 or 12.5%. Percentages, worded problems. You can try any of these questions before I solve them. Number 1. A laptop computer cost $7,000. During a sale, the price was reduced to $6,650. Calculate the percentage discount on a laptop. So we will call that part A. Let's begin with part A. We can see that the original cost of the laptop is $7,000 and the discounted price is $6,650. If we subtract the discounted price from the original price, we will get a discount. $7,000 take away $6,650. This is an easy subtraction. We will get $350. Next, the store charges a delivery fee of 5% of the sale price. Now, it's best to read the entire question before attempting it. However, I know what the question is, so that is why I decided to do the first part first. So let's continue. The store charges a delivery fee of 5% of the sale price. Calculate the total amount the customer has to pay for the laptop. So we know the sale price, so we simply must find 5% of it. Five into 5 is 1, 5 into 100 is 20, and cancel this n0 below with this n0 on top. So the delivery fee is $665. So the total would be the discounted price plus the delivery fee. Oh, I made a mistake. Okay, so I subtracted instead of added. So let me do that over. So it's 6,650 plus 665. 5 plus 6 is 11. 6 plus 6 is 12, plus 1 is 13. And 6 plus 1 is 7. So the answer is 7,315. Ensure to put your $sign. Next, 3 vendors sold face masks as follows. They all started with 500 masks each. Jerry sold 40% of his masks. Salim sold 0.6 of his masks, and Lisa sold 4/5 of her masks. So let's fix those typos. At the end of the day, how many face masks did they sell in total? So let us firstly find 40% of 500. Four fives are 20. So that's 20. And we put a 0 back. So that's 200. We'll use FM for short. Face mask. So that's for Jerry. For Salam, let's find 0.6 of 500. So 0.6, as we should know, is 6 over 10 multiplied by 500. Six fives are 30, put back the 0, so that's 300 face masks. And Lisa sold 4/5 of her face mask. Five into 5, 1. 5 into 500 is 100. 4 times 100 is equal to 400. So that's 400 face masks. So in total, 2 plus 3 is 5. 5 plus 4 is equal to 9. So that's 900. Face masks. How many face masks were left over? So if each person had 500, 500 times 3, that's 1500. Take away the 900 that was sold, so we get a remainder, which is 600. So remember, always put your units. So we are talking about face masks. So you can feel free to take down the solution. Number 3. At the cinema, the total amount of seats were 450. The seats were 70% filled during the movie. During the movie, 180 persons left before the movie ended, and 445 persons came into the movie. What percent of the seats in the cinema are now filled? So let's first determine 70% of 450. One and 0 on top, cancel with 1 and 0 below. 1 below with 1 on top. 7 times 45. 7 5s are 35. 4 7s are 28 plus 3 is 31. So that's 315 seats filled. During the movie, 180 persons left before the movie ended, and 45 persons came into the movie. So we started with 315, 180 persons left, so we must subtract 11 take away 8 is 3. 2 take away 1 is 1. And they told us that 45 persons came into the movie. So we must add 135 plus 45. So this here is a typo. This is supposed to be 35, so let's change that. And we will change this as well. So 135 plus 35, this will give us 170. No, it was correct. This is supposed to be 145. So let's change that back. My apologies. Okay, so at the end of the movie we have 180 persons. What percent of the seats in the cinema are now filled? So that's 180 persons out of a total of 450. So we can multiply by 100 to determine the percent. "90 into 180 is 2, and 90 into 450 is 5. 5 into 5 is 1. 5 into 100 is 20. 2 times 20 is equal to 40. So that's 40%. Number 4. Jesse works for a salary of $3,200 per fortnight. If you do not know, fortnight simply means every 2 weeks. He gets a salary increase of 7%. What was his new fortnightly salary? So we must simply find 7% of $3,200. We can cancel the 2 n zeros on top with the 2 n zeros below. 32 times 7. 7 2s are 14. 3 7s are 21, plus 1 is 22. So the increase is $224. So he is now getting an additional $224 to his salary. So we will add this. His new salary is $3,424. Number 5. The distance from home to school is 1,650 meters. Taking an alternative route, the distance from home to school is 10% less. What is the distance from home to school, taking the alternative route? So let's find 10%, and if it's less, we must subtract this from the original distance. %10 of 1650. Cancel 1 and 0 on top with 1 and 0 below. 1 and 0 on top with 1 and 0 below. So 10% is 165 meters. So less means we must subtract the alternative route is 1,485 meters. Okay, so I forgot to change the numbers in this, so I'll do so quickly. Brian took a loan. The total amount he had to repay was $10,000. The simple interest is $900. What percent is the simple interest of the loan? Yes, so this is still incomplete. Yes. Good. Okay. What percent is the simple interest of the loan? The loan is the total, which is 10,900. Take away the simple interest, and this will give us $10,000. The percent that the simple interest is of the loan would be 900 over the loan, which is $10,000. We can multiply this by 100 to find this amount as a percent. Cancel the 2 and zeros on top with 2 and zeros below. 2 and zeros on top with 2 and zeros below. 9 times 1 is 9, so that's 9%. So this isn't your typical simple interest question. So notice we are not using the formula for rate, which is simple interest by 100 over principal by time. We were not given the time. This is a simpler question where we are simply finding the simple interest as a percent of the loan. So simple interest over the loan multiplied by 100. Next, Sheila walked from home to the bus stop. She walked for 45 minutes. At the bus stop, she took a bus into Port of Spain, which took 1 hour and 15 minutes. She then took a taxi to her friend's house, which took 60 minutes. What percentage of her journey did she spend walking to the bus stop? So let us add the time together to find the total time. 45 plus 1 hour 15 plus 60. So that's 45 minutes plus 1 hour is 60 minutes and 15 minutes, that will be 75 minutes. And lastly, 60 minutes. So let's add this together. 5 plus 5 is 10. 4 plus 7 is 11. 11 plus 6 is 17. Plus 1 is 18. So that's 180 minutes. The walk was 45 minutes. So that's 45 minutes out of the 180 minutes. We can multiply this by 100 to make that into percent. Cancel 1 and 0 on top with 1 and 0 below. 9 into 18 is 2. 9 into 45 is 5. 2 into 2 is 1. 2 into 10 is 5. 5 times 5 is 25%. Thank you for watching. If you have found this video to be helpful, please feel free to contact us for more information about our classes.